Yo, what's up, everyone? Back with another music segment. I got an artist highlight for you here today. Today, I will be discussing Che Noir. Before this, I had done two artist highlights already, one on Marlon Craft and one on Nick Grant, and I really enjoyed the response. Nick Grant, reposted it himself, so that was really cool. I think that that's like my bread and butter here, is trying to put on artists that I know that are respected already, but maybe don't have the media push or could use a little bit of boost from the internet in whatever way that we can do that. And so, like I just said, Che Noir is the person that I'm speaking about today. If you're unfamiliar with her, she is from Buffalo, New York. She was born in 1994, so she's 30 years old. She was heavily influenced by Jay-Z and Foxy Brown, Rhapsody, people like that. Since she's come out as an artist and put out a few bodies of work now, she has collaborated with people like Benny the Butcher, 38 Special, Black Thought, and one of her idols, Rhapsody. A little backstory on Che is that she came up in Buffalo, New York, and a friend taught her how to make beats in high school first. So once she started establishing herself as a beat maker, that's when she started writing the raps. And at age 21, she would take her craft a little bit more serious and start building recording studios. Two of them, actually, one in Buffalo, New York, and one in Niagara Falls. And she started working on her debut mixtape there. And it was around that time that she also started hanging around with the Griselda guys. So a little bit of backstory and something that I found out in an interview with her with Justin Credible, shout out to Justin Credible and all the Power 106 guys, is that she grew up around the block from DJ Che's studio. And if you're unfamiliar with who DJ Che is the guy that put all the Griselda guys in position and was producing beats for them and as acting as their live DJs and stuff like that. So DJ Che is held in a high regard to the Griselda camp. So in 2017, that's when Che started hanging around these guys. She collaborated with Benny the Butcher on Tyson in 2017, and then started working with 38 Special on a project that he was working with legend Kool G Rap on an album called Son of G Rap. So she was featured on that. And then this relationship would kind of open up the floodgates for her because 38 Special and her would develop a great working relationship, and he would produce 3 projects for her. And that would be The Thrill of the Hunt, Volumes 1 and 2, and then Juno, which came out in 2018, 19, and 20. Also in 2020, she worked with a hometown hero from Detroit that we love, that I've been bumping his music for a long ass time, and that's Apollo Brown. If you're unfamiliar with Apollo Brown, he's a legendary hip-hop producer from the D. He's a mellow music group. But that album was called As God Intended. That's the album that she would start to get some heavy features and respect out of the people that she grew up idolizing. Black Thought is on the album. Sky Zoo is on the album. Planet Asia is on the album. Just like the rest of the Griselda camp, works fast. And she works on a lot of stuff at the same time. In that same year that she had the Apollo Brown album out, she put out an EP to close out the year. And then in 2022, she released a self-produced album, Food for Thought, and then started working on an EP for another Buffalo artist named Jinx 716. So Che just stays busy. She also released a live EP that same year, Poetic Sounds and the Last Remnants. And in 2022, she would start working with Benny and Ransom some more, because those two ended up on the album. And in 2023, she would release Nor or Never with Big Ghost LTD, Flea Lord, and 38 Special on it as well. And then 2024, she had another joint project with this Jinx 716, and then started rolling out what would become the album that she has most currently, and that's The Lotus Child. And The Lotus Child, man, I can't say enough good things about this project by her. She self-produced the whole thing, minus one track that Static Selecta did, but the whole thing is her production, and both the sonics and her lyrics are just absolutely incredible on it. I think that one thing that I want to make sure that I do here on this channel, like I've definitely complained about some other channels before, so I want to make sure that I'm not just a complainer, that I'm also bigging up people that I love. And I want to shout out to the Dead End Hip Hop guys. I've been a big fan of your guys' channel for a long time. If you guys ever want to have a conversation, that'd be awesome. big fan, especially BZ because he's a Detroiter. But they had her on. They had Che on for this new segment they were doing where they kind of break down 3 different tracks. I think one's an unreleased, one is off the album, and then one is something that they pick, I think. Something of that configuration. It's a new thing, so I'm pretty stoked that those guys are doing that. I have to finish the rest of it. But shout out Deadhead and Hip Hop, big fan of you guys. And shout out Just Incredible, who I watched interview Che to get some of the information on this. But anyways, there's a song on her new project, The Lotus Child, called Shadow Puppet. It's the very first track. And it's just like such a gorgeous beat, and I love the rhyme scheme and how she takes you through it. She kind of like raps through her body in a sense. She kind of goes through, first she starts with her mind, body, and soul, and starts with her thoughts. Then she moves into bars about her heart, and then she moves into bars about her brain, her tongue, her eyes, ears, and hair. And I just think that's a really cool, like the way that she presented it all was really a beautiful job. And I mean, there's not too many people that are producing their own albums, and when they do it, it's not at a high level like Che has been doing it. And I think that she deserves a little bit more push. I don't think that she's getting enough media coverage. I think that they could be doing a better job representing her too, because she is, I mean, she lyrically super deep, like really deep. She's kind of street and sometimes kind of like gritty in a sense, but man, it just cuts through with how poetic she is in her bars. And I just can't say enough good things about her. I know she's probably got 10 more projects in the works right now, knowing how at the pace that she keeps up with. But I just wanted to keep it short and highlight her as an artist and say that if you haven't listened to The Lotus Child yet, definitely go do that. We're trying to highlight some of the women in rap that I love a lot. You know, I've done segments on Rhapsody, Doechii, her. I want to cut a longer form one on Little Sims, and you know, just keep going with what I'm doing. But that's what I got for you today. Big fan of Che. Go check her out. Peace.